Hi everyone, my name is Nisha Kakwani. I am a first year student or a freshman here at the University of Rhode Island in the Doctor of Pharmacy program. And me and along with Willy, we're gonna be asking the professional pharmacy students questions today. I'm looking forward to talking to all of you. Thank you.
Yes, hi guys, I'm Willy Njeru. I am also a first year Doctor of Pharmacy major here at the University of Rhode Island. I'm also very excited to interact with all the panelists and all the students and all the viewers who are going to be involved in this panel. So can't wait to get this started.
All right, and my name is Alex Vose. I'm in my first professional year of the program. So I'm a P1, as you'll often hear referred to, and I'm from Rhode Island. Again, very excited to speak to all of you tonight.
My name is Burbridge. I am a P2. I'm in my second professional year of the program. I'm from Long Valley, New Jersey, but I live in East Greenwich, Rhode Island right now, so a little bit of both. And I'm super excited to do this.
Hi everyone, my name is Sonika Tahiliani. I'm a P3, that's a fifth year in the PharmD program. So I'm almost done with my academic portion, then I go out on rotations. I'm from Dubai, UAE, and I'm also the resident academic mentor for the College of Pharmacy.
Hi everyone, my name is Katelyn. I am the P4 of this panel, which means that I am in my last year of pharmacy school and I am 7 weeks out from graduation. So I'm very excited. I know, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But I am a double major, so I'm getting my pharmacy doctorate as well as a bachelor's in French with a minor in biology. And I came to URI all the way from O'Fallon, Illinois. And I absolutely love URI. It has been the best thing I've done. So happy to be here and I love talking about it. So.
Okay, awesome. So thank you so much for our panelists and our viewers for joining us this evening. We're so excited for this event tonight because it's not only beneficial for our prospective students, but also our current students that are with us today. And so with us today, we obviously have our 4 students in the professional program, and we're gonna be here to spill the Pharma-Tea and tell you all about their experiences there so far as a student. And they're here to answer any questions you guys have about the Doctor of Pharmacy program.
Yeah, that's great. So let's get right to it. So we're going to split our questions about the pharmacy program into 3 main categories: academics, college life, and career prospects. And to start off with academics, just to clarify for our viewers, the 6-year program consists of 2 years of the general education and prerequisite courses, followed by 4 years of the professional pharmacy curriculum. And to kick it off with academics, to our panelists, what has been your most enjoyable course so far in the pharmacy program?
So speaking as someone who's just been joining the professional years of the program, as I said, I'm a P1 student. My favorite of the professional classes I've taken so far has been self-care, just because I do work in a community pharmacy, and what self-care encompasses is a lot of the tools that we have to help patients at consultation and everything like that. So really those skills to give patients the best recommendation possible. So it really has helped me a lot that I can pretty much help any comes the door of CVS, not quite literally every patient yet, but definitely getting there. So it's been really nice to reap the benefits of that very soon on in my pharmacy career.
I can talk about mine. So I actually have 2. The first one that I really like is oncology core. So that was when we went over all of the oncology medications. And it's something that I've always been interested in. I work at a hospital, so I've had the opportunity to shadow our oncologist and actually work at preparing the chemo. So that was a really unique opportunity for me, and I've really found a passion in that. But my favorite elective that I've taken was with Dr. Jeff Bratberg, and it was his vaccine elective, and we talked about vaccines, and it was right at the end of 2020, so right before the COVID vaccines were coming out. And so it was a great opportunity for us to learn about it. We held some friendly debates between students and really got to learn about the vaccines. And then I also had the opportunity during that semester to participate in a lot of vaccination clinics. So definitely some really cool opportunities that came out of that class, and it was definitely one of my favorites.
My favorite class has to be cardio core. So that was an entire semester that we did just learning about cardio and renal. And I don't know, I just really liked the part. It was really interesting. And it was my first time experiencing anything like involving the pathophysiology, the pharmacology, and the therapeutics all at once. It was the first time I got to do something so intense, and I loved it so much. And because of my interest in that, I actually reached out to one of the professors, and now I'm doing research with her at the Providence VA, and we're researching anticoagulopathy, which is basically just how medications for patients who experience strokes, and we're testing the safety and efficacy and things like that. So yeah, that's another point as well, is that if you are really interested in any of in any class, you can actually reach out to the professor, and they probably are doing research that you can help with.
I would say my favorite class is, it's one I'm in right now actually, and it's the CNS core. So just like learning about all of the, like just the way the brain works and like all of the different like medications and everything, I think has just been so interesting.
Great, thank you guys so much. So another question that our high school seniors commonly ask is, can I use AP credits to get out of classes? And can I take classes at other schools and transfer the credits back to URI? So if you guys could just share your experiences with that and talk about that, that would be great.
Yeah, so you can use your AP credits. My high school actually didn't offer AP credits, so when I came into pharmacy school, I did have to take the full curriculum. But Denise, who will help you with your freshman orientation and help you register for classes, she looks through your AP credits, and as long as you received a 4 or above, she'll count it for credit and help you figure out what it can fill in for. So if you do have those AP credits, definitely like take the exams, make sure that you can use them. And any classes that you do take at other universities or any other colleges, we also will transfer those in as transfer credits. And Denise also uses those and tries to help you fill as many of your prerequisites as she can. So it is possible to be done. I've taken multiple classes outside of URI and have been able to transfer all of those in for credit as well.
Yeah, I took a few AP classes in high school, but I didn't really plan ahead that well. I didn't take like AP bio or AP chemistry or anything. So I still had to take all of the prerequisites, but it was nice because the more credits you have, sometimes you'll have like an earlier pick time for classes. So for like a few semesters, I would kind of be like a little bit ahead of everyone else, and I could pick classes sooner. So that was definitely a really nice advantage of that.
I know I came in with 8 credits of physics, and we don't even need physics. So that just kind of counted for my general education classes, and you need about 40, and I already came in with 8 just doing physics. And then I also got out of chem because I did A levels, which is a different curriculum because I was from a different country. But if you do A levels or IB or anything like that, all of that counts as well.
Yeah, I similarly also did take some early enrollment classes with my high school. So I had taken some dual enrollment with my high school and a local community college. So those credits were able to transfer into URI, which got me out of taking a few of my general education classes.
Awesome, thank you. Another common question we have is, do you have to reapply to the PharmD program after your sophomore year?
One of the biggest benefits of coming to URI is that it is a 0 to 6 school. And what that means is it is direct admission from your sophomore year right into your P1 year. You are not competing for a spot with anyone. So you and your friends actually get to collaborate. You can help each other out, share homework, things like that, because you are not fighting for a spot. We do have an interview that we do at the end of the sophomore year before you enter your P1 year, but that in no way is like a deal breaker or anything. It's just to kind of make sure you know that you are in the right program and this is the right fit for you. But yes, it is direct admission.
That's great. I actually do want to touch upon something that we did know about the AP credits, because I do believe one of the panelists did mention that the AP credits do help people get ahead. And so with students who are ahead with many AP credits, can individuals pursue degrees like minors or majors in conjunction with their PharmD program?
I'll take this one, seeing as I am a double major. So like I said, like I didn't come in with a lot of AP credits. I did have a lot of dual enrollments, very similar to Alex. So my high school paired with a local community college, and I was able to receive college credit that way while I was still in high school. But it is very easy to get another minor, another major if you're dedicated and that's something that you're interested in pursuing. If you do happen to be taking bio, AP Bio, it's very easy to get a bio minor. You only need one other class in addition to the ones you have to take already for your pharmacy degree. So it's very easy to get that bio minor. I ended up taking genetics as my last class, which counted as a professional elective. So I kind of did like a two birds, one stone. I took genetics to help me finish up my bio minor, but then it also counted towards my professional pharmacy electives as well. So that's a really easy way to do it. A lot of our students will just pick a biology class that they're interested in and then help them get that bio minor. We do have a lot of students as well who get either a language minor or a language major. Language minors are very easy to get. You only have to take 6 classes. And if you did take a language in high school, they will also give you high school incentive credit. And that's something that you can apply for when you get to URI through that language department. So very easy to do. Getting my bachelor's at French was also very easy. I have been speaking French since I was 8, so I am fluent. So the classes were actually like a welcome from all of our pharmacy classes. I loved taking because it's a little bit of like a mind break. And it was very easy to do. So there are lots of different options. It's also great. We have students that will do business majors, business minors. I know one girl who did a nutrition minor. So if there's something that you're interested in doing a major or a minor, Denise will work with you and she'll help make sure that you're set up for success as well. So very easy to do. And in fact, it's really encouraged if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, I also completed a minor in leadership studies. That is an interesting minor that URI is, I think, one of the very few in the country that offer it, and it pairs really well with any major. And I came into my first year doing the Leadership Institute, which, if anyone's interested, it's basically a 2 to 3 day camping retreat almost at a different campus, and they teach you all about your leadership style, and you get to move in early, and you get to meet people. So that is an option as well. So I went to that program and then I decided to continue the minor, but you can do so much. If you come in with a lot of AP credits, one thing to note is that you cannot get ahead in the pharmacy program. So you can't finish a semester early. So it's good that you would fill up that space that you have with additional things. So you can choose to do a minor, you can choose to study abroad actually in your sophomore year spring semester if you have a semester off, or you can even choose to complete the honors program. So there are a couple options of what you can do with that extra space in your schedule.
That's great. So I am also aware that the University of Rhode Island also does have combined degrees, PharmD, Masters of Business Administration as well as the PharmD and Masters of Science. So that there definitely is a lot of options for people who do want to venture out academically from, instead of just sticking to a doctor of pharmacy. So there's definitely a lot of options. So thank you, panelists. So I do want to ask about, so within the program, let's say there's a course that you're taking that was a little bit more challenging. Is there tutoring available specifically in the pre-professional years as well as in the professional years?
So we do have a lot of tutoring options available. So when you're in your undergraduate classes, we do have tutoring available through the Academic Enhancement Center, which is a program that's run by the university. So all of our students are able to benefit from that. And then once you do enter your professional years in the program, we have a lot of different tutors available, specifically our Rhode tutors, who are older pharmacy students who have taken the same courses before and are able to provide a lot of really great help in study sessions. So they are really great. I often do go to their review sessions before we have exams, and they give really good study tips.
So I've both had to use the tutoring service. I also have been a tutor as well. And it is a great resource, especially because the tutors that we have are older students. So they've taken the class before you. And most often they're the class that just took it the year before. So it's a great opportunity. They do help you out, give you some pointers, some tips. They work with the professors as well. So a lot of the information that they're going over does come directly from the professors. But should you ever be struggling in a class, we do have a great program here and a great system, that all of our professors and the faculty as well do really want to see us succeed. So they are here should anything happen, should you be in danger of, failing a course or need to remediate a course, they are here to help and support you every step of the way. So you'll never have to feel like you're flailing, you're out in the middle of nowhere, no one's going to help you, but they are here. They are a great resource. So the first step is always reaching out to professors, and professors are also here as a tool for us to use. And so they are great. So never feel like you're just going to be pushed out to the side and ignored. So we are here to help.
Thank you so much. It's so great to hear we have this whole support system for our students here at URI. And so another question we have for our panelists that's commonly asked is, why does the curriculum keep changing and what is the spiral?
So that's a really good question. The curriculum actually changed the year below me. So I think Claire's class is the first year that has the new curriculum. And there was nothing wrong with our old curriculum. It's just that we always like to be up to date with the times. And as pharmacy is an ever-changing career, we want to continue to adapt to that as well. So the spiral that you may have heard of, it's not a negative term. It's actually a good thing. So what we like to do now is when you start in your professional year, so your P1 year, we will be focusing on disease states that are most commonly seen outpatient. So we'll start off with the high blood pressure, high cholesterol, maybe a little bit of diabetes, just the basic and introductory of the most common disease states that you see. And then as you go higher into your P2 year or P3 year, we'll be narrowing in on things. So maybe you'll start to learn about renal kidney disease or heart failure or some mental health stuff, some CNS, and then finally oncology. So that's how it's going to work, is that the spiral is that it starts off being really broad and then it goes up into being more narrow. And this way, when you are refreshing these topics constantly year after year, by the time you're ready to go out on your APPEs in your P4 year, you'll know all of these disease states so well that you'll be able to handle almost any situation. You'll be patient ready, as we like to call it.
Okay, so another question we have for our panelists is, how time consuming really is this program?
It's definitely time consuming. I mean, it is a doctorate program, so you do have to put in a lot of study time and work. But that's not to say that you won't have free time or, time to get a job. I'm sure all of us have a job, or join different clubs and everything like that. And most clubs probably meet only for an hour, maybe every other week. So it's not that's going to be a huge strain on you or anything. But there's time to do everything, and you can definitely find the time. Time management is really important, but I think you learn it really well, and the benefits that you come out of this program with are totally worth it.
Yeah, just to add on to that, it definitely is a time-consuming program. Like Claire said, it is obviously a doctorate degree that you'll be pursuing at the end of the day, but there is always time for whatever you really want to incorporate, and it is about time management. So I'm involved on campus in multiple ways, through orientation leading, being a tour guide. I have an all-campus job, and I have plenty of time to maintain a social life. So it definitely is doable to balance everything you're looking for.
Awesome, great. And so in the unlikely circumstance that a student does fail a class, what does happen? What is the process coming out of that? What are the minimum grades? How can they still continue to remain in the program?
I actually didn't pass one of my undergrad courses, so I can talk about this, but I believe, I'm not sure the exact number, but if you don't pass one of the first say 30 credits or something, I believe you just retake the course, and then the bad failing grade is off your transcript. But the class that I didn't pass was after those credits. So I do have both grades on my transcript. It was a class that I took during the summer, so I retook it that next fall. It was my sophomore year in the fall. And I passed in the fall, so that was good. But they're both on my transcript. I'm still here, so it's not anything to worry about. It happens to everyone. Well, not everyone, I'm sorry. It does happen, but it's definitely nothing to worry about.
Yeah, so Claire is right. So Any of your undergrad courses, you have to stay above a 2.3 GPA, nothing less than a C minus. So that's all your biology, your chemistry, your math courses. All your grades need to be above a C minus. Like Claire did mention, we do have it's like freshman forgiveness grades. And so anything above your anything below first 30 credits, if you retake it, it doesn't count towards your transcript. Anything that you do have to retake above those 30 credits, they will count towards your GPA. So just something to keep in mind. Should you get into pharmacy school and you are struggling with a class, if you either fail a class or you get a D and you need to remediate, what remediation is that you'll meet with the professor that was in charge of whatever section or whatever class you need to remediate. And they'll work with you and they set up a plan for you during whatever break it is. So if it was spring semester, you work during the summer. If it was fall semester, you do the work during like winter break. And they work with you, they help set up a plan for you to go over what information you missed, and that you do have a good grip on whatever material that you might have not understood the first time. Should you fail a class, you will go before our academic standing board. They evaluate your GPA. So as long as your GPA is above the minimum, if you fail a class, you do stay in pharmacy school. You just retake that class the next year. So you'll continue with the pharmacy program, but you'll have to retake that one class with the class below you. And the academic committee will meet on a case-by-case basis, depending on how many classes you may need to remediate, what your minimum GPA is, and things like that. But like I did mention, we are here to help and support. And if you are struggling, the Scholastic Standing Committee is there to help you. They're not for you. And they really do want you to succeed. They're here to help you. And I've had to remediate. Most students have to remediate at least once during our professional years. It's very common. So definitely don't be scared of it. Don't do it. If you can, try to avoid it. But it is a very supportive process if you do have to remediate a class.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Caitlin. That was great. So now we're going to move on from academics into more of college life. So we're talking about like different clubs and organizations you can get involved in within the College of Pharmacy and the university as a whole. So to start off, we want to ask the panelists, what kind of clubs are offered here at URI and what have you gotten involved in?
Okay, so at URI, we have like hundreds of clubs and organizations, quite literally, whether it's academically based or it's interest based. I got involved very early on with the orientation program, like I mentioned earlier. So that was a really great avenue to meet a whole group of different people. And I met some other older pharmacy students throughout that program that were always able to support me. My first year, I also had gotten involved with the Students National Pharmacy Association, which I did stay in for my first year at URI. And I also got involved with the tour guiding team. So those have all been really great opportunities that I've had.
Yeah, so I am a member of one of the professional fraternities in the College of Pharmacy. It's Alpha Zeta Omega, and I think we actually have someone from each of the three of them here. So I've been a member of that since my freshman year. I'm also a member of the Pediatric Pharmacy Advocacy Group, also IPHO, which is like industry pharmacist organizations. I'm also a member of PLS, which is the Pharmacy Leadership Society. And then outside of the College of Pharmacy, I'm a member of Best Buddies, and I'm actually on the executive board for that. And I'm also a member of the Unified Basketball team. And then my sophomore year, I had played intramural soccer and volleyball, which was a lot of fun. But there's definitely, like, you don't just have to be in pharmacy clubs. You can do whatever you're interested in outside of the College of Pharmacy as well.
Yeah, so speaking of outside the College of Pharmacy, when I first joined, I actually, when I first got to URI, I joined Rotaract Club, which is a volunteering club, and you kind of help just the local Rhode community. And we used to do like food drives, clothing drives, and just a bunch of cleanups around the area. So that was good. I was part of Indian Student Association, which is a cultural organization. And then I joined pharmacy organizations. So I'm a member of Lambda Kappa Sigma, which is the professional pharmaceutical fraternity. I know Nisha is a part of that as well. And basically, it's a good resource because everyone in the entire sorority is all pharmacy majors. And so you can get your bigs like notes, or you can get advice from other students. And it's just helpful to make connections as well. And then I'm a member of Pharmacy Leadership Society. I'm actually the president of that organization. And this is a club that you get inducted into in your P2 or P1 year. And it's basically you get inducted based off of how many leadership positions you hold throughout your first couple of years. So if you are very heavily involved in the College of Pharmacy, or even outside of it, you can apply and you can get inducted, and it's kind of an honors organization. And yeah, I'm also joining, I've been in industry and hospital pharmacy as well, just because I'm interested in both fields for now. So we'll see.
So there are lots of different options. My favorite thing to say is that, especially for our pharmacy organizations, there is something for everybody. You can find everything from hospital pharmacy to community pharmacy to industry pharmacy to our Spanish speaking pharmacy society to pediatrics to geriatrics to managed care. So there's so many different organizations that we have just in our pharmacy school. So there is truly something for everyone. There's something that you can find and be involved in. And our pharmacy students are more than welcome to join any sort of university clubs and organizations as well. In fact, we do really love that they do things outside of pharmacy school, because yes, I am a pharmacist, and yes, that is most of who I am, but I am also involved in other things, and I have other interests outside of pharmacy school. So we love that our students are so involved. I myself was very involved in a lot of non-pharmacy organizations for my first couple of years. I did rush and I did a social sorority. So I joined Phi Sigma Sigma. I also rushed and I did the pharmacy sorority as well. So I did Lambda Kappa Sigma for 4 years. So I did both of them. I was involved in our Student Alumni Association. I also was involved in the mascot program. So I was Rhode's handler for a little bit. And once upon a time, I was Rhode. I was Rhode the Ram once. So I loved it. So doing things outside, I'm also very involved in the community. The South Kingstown Partnership for Prevention works in a lot of high schools and middle schools to educate students about, illegal drug use, anti-smoking, things like that. So I was very involved in that as well. And then in pharmacy, I am part of like the Pediatric Pharmacy Association. I'm part of the American Society of Pharmacists, American Society of Health Pharmacists, the Rhode Island Pharmacists Association. So there are just so many organizations that we're all a part of. And sometimes it's hard to keep them all straight because they're all different acronyms. But yeah, so very involved in lots of things. And as you go through school, you'll definitely find like your niche and find things that you're interested in. Like Sonika mentioned, she's very interested in like hospital versus industry. So those are two organizations that she joined. So definitely lots out there.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you all so much. Like I always like to say, there's something for everyone here on campus, no matter what you're interested in. And it's our panelists are a great example of being involved within the College of Pharmacy and at URI in general. And so our next question, I feel like Sonika would be a good person to answer this one as the resident academic mentor. The question is, what is an LLC, a living learning community, and do I have to live there?
That's a very good question. So LLC, like you said, stands for Living and Learning Community. And this is something that URI does that I actually really love. And what it means is that it takes students who are in similar majors or major clusters and have them live together for their first year. So for example, currently we are doing a pharmacy and neuroscience LLC. When I was a freshman, we were doing pharmacy and nursing. And it really doesn't matter because the point is that you are all going to be in the same classes. You're all going to be taking biology, anatomy, chemistry, math, and the reason why this is so important is because when you come to college first, you really don't have much in common with people, maybe your home state, but what you have common with 130 people is your major. And so you really start to bond over your classes. And we already pair you up with so many people that you have these built-in study groups where you'll be seeing these people around. You can kind of have the same schedule as well. Like my roommate and I, we're in every single class together. So we would literally just wake up at the same time. We would both get breakfast together and go to all these classes and then have lunch and then study in the evenings. And we'd study with people on our hallway. So it's very beneficial. I really liked it. The friends that you make in your LLC in your first year, you really get to know them so well, and you see them so often that these are the friends that you will carry with you throughout all your 5 years at URI. Some tend to become best friends and they even move off campus together. Some live together during rotations. So it's great to have these people who will always understand your schedule because they have the same thing as you. And it's not that you'll only be stuck with pharmacy majors and these are the only friends you'll make. You can definitely join organizations and you can meet people outside of them as well. And then starting your sophomore year, you can actually really live anywhere you want. So you can live with all sorts of majors and meet people that way. So it is not required, but I would say it's highly, highly recommended.
Great, thank you so much, Sonika. And if Claire, Alex, Caitlin, if you guys want to add your experience in the LLC your freshman year, feel free to.
Yeah, sure. So I actually lived with 2 nursing majors, but it was still like the LLC. And so I kind of lived on like the side of the building that was more like the nursing people, but I still met like so many great people. And then everyone in my classes were literally just on the other side of the building. And there is something to be said for like wanting to study together and not having to walk across campus or like anything like that. I think the LLC was definitely a great place to live. And I lived with my roommates again, like my sophomore year, we stayed on campus. I know some people move off their sophomore year, but we lived in like a more of a suite style living my sophomore year. But it's really great to live with people who are in the same major as you, because like Sonika was saying, they get it.
I can kind of speak to someone that I actually didn't live on campus for my first year, and I commuted, and I was actually still able to stay heavily involved through the living learning community. I was included with all the different events that were hosted and everything like that. And I would always spend time like within the residential hall that was home for the Pharma-Tea living learning community. So I did get to meet a lot of people throughout that way. So speaking from someone who didn't necessarily living learning community, it was still really easy to get involved through that.
I did live in the learning community my freshman year, way back when it was in Hillside. I'm that old. It's changed like 3 times since then. But my roommate actually was a cellular and molecular biology major. She happened to get pulled into the pharmacy LLC because of me and my major. And I loved it. I loved living with all different pharmacy students. I liked that my roommate was also very science-based because we did take some of the same classes. We were in the same chem classes both year. We also both took biology. We just had different sections. So it was really nice that I did have someone to take classes with. But some of my favorite memories are groups of us in all of our study rooms, doing our chemistry lab reports on a Thursday night, because we all have lab at 8 a.m. on Friday morning, and, studying before exams, and everyone's got the whiteboards and it's filled with questions and notes and diagrams and things like that. So actually like living in the dorms and being able to kind of form those bonds with other pharmacy students was honestly so invaluable. And I kind of miss it now that I don't live with, 50 other people on a floor. I kind of miss it a little bit.
It's really funny you mentioned that, Caitlin, because everything you're saying is like what me and Willy are like going through right now, like in our freshman year. Like we'll like be staying up late in the study lounge studying for our chem exams or our chemistry lab like the night before, and we'll like have all our anatomy drawings in the whiteboard, like the basement lounge of Weldon. So it's crazy how what you say like relates so much.
Yep, having flashbacks from last night actually.
Exactly.
Well, that's great. So on campus, there are, I bet, a lot of incoming students who are interested in having on-campus jobs. And so for our panelists, have you guys had on-campus jobs? How did that process look like for you? And how can individuals be able to have that experience during their time here?
So we have a lot of opportunities for on-campus jobs at URI. We actually have an entire application devoted to it. It's called Handshake, and it's basically an online platform. You can apply for any of those different on-campus jobs. I know a lot of people who have gotten jobs through that platform. Personally, as I said, probably now it's the 3rd time I did get an on-campus job through the tour guiding team. So that was a really nice way to get an on-campus job. I did kind of want something that would fill up some time on campus, get to meet some new people. And like I said, I did commute my first year, so it was really nice that I thought it was something I could do in between classes and everything like that. So personally, that really worked well for me. But we have tons of other different job opportunities. So no matter what kind of like time devotement you're looking for, or what kind of hours you have, they're really flexible, obviously, because they pretty much know that anyone on campus that's getting an on-campus job is a student, and we all have kind of crazy schedules. So it is really nice in that respect.
Yeah, my freshman year, I didn't have a job, but my sophomore year, I wanted to get one. And so I ended up working at the Ryan Center in like the ticket like selling place. But it was really nice because it was just games. So you would go in and then you would like sign up for which games you wanted to work. So if you had like an exam the next day, you didn't have to work. You could work as much or as little as you wanted. So that was a nice job that I had. And then right now I actually work in the College of Pharmacy in the IT department, which is the best job ever. So I really like that, but there's a ton of opportunities. Some of my friends have worked like in the gym as like group exercise class instructors. And then they'll work at like the front desk or something like that. So there's something for everyone, kind of like the clubs.
Yeah, I think what Claire said is really important in terms of on-campus jobs. It's that you never have to pick work over your academics. You work just as much as you want to. So you can put in your hours. You want to work 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week. It's completely your choice. And you get to build your schedule around your classes. So you will never be called into work the night before an exam, or you would not have to if you didn't want to. I work at the information desk in the Memorial Union. So I would like to argue that that's the best job ever according to me, but like it's really cool. I get to see a lot of people coming by. I get to sit at the desk and just do my homework if no one's asking me any questions. And then I also work as a tour guide, which half of us do. But yeah, definitely very easy to get on campus jobs. And if you're living on campus, it's literally just a walk to your work, which is, who gets to say that, very convenient.
I also worked on campus. I do tour guiding as well, College of Pharmacy tour guiding. But like I said, I did do the mascot program my freshman and sophomore year. So I got to be Rhode the Rams handler, got to go out to all sorts of different events. And then once in an emergency, I was Rhode the Ram to meet the governor. So that was super cool. And I still have the picture. But yeah, so just lots of opportunities. And like you said, everything that we all do, like we all have very different jobs. I have friends that they worked at the dining halls. And so they were the people that would swipe people into the dining halls and things like that. So there's so many different opportunities and like so many different jobs available. And it is, there's definitely like very flexible hours. Some jobs are you sign up for events when you have the time. Some jobs, you work maybe one shift a week. So it definitely depends on what type of job you get.
Great, thank you so much. And going on with life like on campus at URI, I also want to touch upon college life beyond URI and beyond the borders of the campus. So what is there to do off campus? And is studying abroad possible as a pharmacy major? I know, Katelyn, you're going to have a lot to talk about this. So yeah, so those two questions are there. What is available to do off campus, and is there studying abroad?
So URI is located in a really great area. We kind of are slightly secluded, but definitely like 10 minutes away, not even, from like pretty much anything. So we have Wakefield, which is like a nice, quaint little town nearby. We also are close to Newport, Providence. There's like a lot of great things in the area, a lot of great restaurants. Like I said, I am from Rhode Island, so I'm kind of pretty biased in saying that we do have the best restaurants here in Rhode Island. And when you do come here, there are plenty of different opportunities for great places to go. We're also wicked close to the beaches. So beaches are another great benefit that we have at URI. So probably 10-15 minutes away is the nearest beach. So I don't know how many people really get to say that they can get out of class and then 10-15 minutes be at the beach. But it's really nice during the summer months. So like September, or like the last few months of the spring, that you can pretty much just go down there directly after class. And a lot of our students do take advantage and like live down off campus in their later years as a student, right? And like beach houses that would be rented out for visitors during the summer. So it is a really cool opportunity that we do have like in the Ocean State in the southern part of Rhode Island.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. And Something people might not know, but if you live on campus and you don't have a car, you actually get a free bus pass. So my freshman year, I would not only use that to go home, but my friends and I would also go to Providence because it's just free and you can just get on the bus and go. And then I'll let everyone else talk more about studying abroad, but I didn't go for a full semester, but I did a J-term trip to London and Paris, which it was a fashion study tour, which it was a lot of fun though. And it was something that I never would have done. I went by myself, like I didn't know anyone, but I met a really great group of people. I don't know, I had a lot of fun. So if you don't get the opportunity to go for a semester, you can also always look into the J-term study abroads.
Well, perfect. It's great to know that the college life at the University of Rhode Island is not just at the campus, but you can also expand that experience outside of campus. So that's great to hear that all those options are available for students. So now we're gonna now transition away from college life and now talk a little bit more about career prospects, because I know that that's what a lot of people are really curious about, with a PharmD, what you can do with that. But before graduating with a Doctor of Pharmacy, can individuals be able to pursue pharmacy jobs or pharmacy related jobs as an undergraduate student or a graduate student in the program? And anyone's free to answer that question.
So we do have a lot of great opportunities. I have actually worked for the past few years at CVS. As I said, I started as a technician and I transitioned once I began my professional year to an intern at CVS. That's been something that I found really helpful, especially in learning more about the field and kind of getting experience with medications and everything like that. It's really helped a lot with my studying to have that job. And one of the great things about the program, just kind of add about the career part, is that we do get exposed to a lot of the different options within the realm of pharmacy. So obviously, stereotypically, maybe people only saw pharmacists as someone behind the counter of CVS distributing medications, but it's so much more than that. As I'm only in my first professional year, haven't necessarily gotten to do all the rotations yet that all of these other students have gotten to experience, but I will be having those in the future. But one of the great things that we do offer is in one of our classes in our fall semester, we had career Fridays. So every Friday, pharmacists from different avenues within the field would come in and talk to us about what they do and kind of let us know what different options that we have within the field. So that was something that I thought was really cool, just to get that exposure early on.
Yeah, I think going off of what experience we've had, I'm a P3 now, so I've gotten to do two IPPs. What IPP stands for is IPPE, which is basically introductory pharmacy professional experience. And so I actually did not work at a pharmacy outside of school at all during my college years, but I would say that the experience that we get within the school, either through our labs, through the patient counseling that we are told to do, to like the patient assessment, all our classes, and then even these experiential things that we get to do over the summer, I feel like we are still very well prepared, even if we do not work off campus. So in your first professional year, right after when you have the summer break, you actually do a community IPPE, and that's basically where you spend 3 weeks working at a community pharmacy, getting all of that experience. You will be paired with a preceptor who will be able to teach you the ins and outs of community pharmacy, and then the following summer you will do the same thing with a hospital pharmacy. And then once you are done with your P3 year, so about in a month, I will be going out on my APPEs, which is advanced professional pharmacy experience, and I'm sure Katelyn can talk all about that, because we get 6, it's a whole year of just being out in the field and getting that experience before you graduate.
And really quick before Katelyn talks about APPEs, is there's also a service learning IPPE that I had to do. I don't know if you had to do that one, Sonika, but mine was virtual just because of COVID, but that was another, so I don't know, like, I know now that they have been going to like nursing homes, and it's like a service learning IPPE. So that one was also really nice to get some experience like that.
Yeah, so your service learning one is 40 hours that you do, and it is community service. I did mine with the South Kingston Partnership for Prevention. That's how I originally got involved with them. And I went to different high schools and I talked to kids about your brain on drugs and why you shouldn't snort your Adderall and why drooling is bad and things like that. So I gave presentations and they were super fun. So real quick, just because we did kind of breeze past it, I do want to circle back to study abroad because it is such, it's my favorite topic to talk about. But it is such a unique part of our program here at URI. In fact, we are the only school I looked at, and I looked at like 12 pharmacy schools. We are the only school that lets you study abroad without having to add extra time to your degree. So you are able to study abroad and complete your degree in 6 years. So super important. In fact, at URI, it's almost encouraged that we study abroad. Denise loves sending students away. She loves us, but she loves sending us away and sending us on studying abroad and for adventures and to come back and tell her all about the fun things we did, the food we ate, and the people we saw. So in order to study abroad, you will have to take organic chemistry during the summer. Depending on how many AP credits you come in, depends on how many organic chemistry classes you have to take during the summer. But as a requirement for to start your P1 year, you have to take Orgo 1, 2, as well as a lab. So for me, I had to take all 3 classes during this summer between my freshman and my sophomore year. It was a really long summer. It was like 3 hours of classes, 3 days a week for the first 6 weeks. And then it was 6-hour classes every day for the next 6 weeks. But definitely like was a very intensive class and it's very fast. But it was totally worth it. And so then we allow our students to study abroad in the spring semester of their sophomore year. So the last semester of your prerequisites year. And there's no restrictions on where you can go and what you can do. We just like to make sure that all of our gen eds, especially our science and our math classes, are done before you go. Anything else like a history or an arts or anything like that, Denise will work with you with the classes that you're going to take abroad, and she'll help fill in any of those gaps that you might be having. I personally did a program called Semester at Sea, which is very similar to like the Sweet Life on Deck. So Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, that's what I did. I went on a cruise ship and I sailed around the world for 3.5 months and I took classes while we were at sea. And then when we were in port, I was able to go and explore on my own. And I loved it. For me, that program is perfect. I got to go to 12 different countries. I loved every minute of it. I had the best hand of my life. And I made like lifelong friends. So definitely was a great program for me. A lot of our pharmacy students will pick, countries in Europe. We have a lot of students that do the Florence, Italy program every year. We've got some students that do Paris. We've had quite a few students go to Ireland and London. So definitely if you're interested in studying abroad, this is a great program for you. And talking to Denise and talking to whoever helps you pick your classes out at freshman orientation is definitely, it's definitely good to start early to make sure that you can fit everything in. So that is my study abroad little thing. I can talk about it forever. So if anyone does have questions, we can talk later. But back to working. So I work both at a hospital and at a community pharmacy. And I've been working in community pharmacy for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years this summer. And then I've been working at a hospital for the last 4 years. And I love both of my jobs. They're very different and they entail very different things. But I do love both of them in their own way. So there are lots of pharmacy jobs available. Rhode Island loves pharmacy interns. There are so many different locations. All of our hospitals have interns. Most of our community pharmacies also have interns. We have some industry places here that also love interns, as well as like insurance offices that love pharmacy interns. So any sector of pharmacy that you're interested in getting into, they have a position open for interns. So just make sure, just find something that you're interested in. And I do really enjoy working. I think it's really helped in different areas of pharmacy. And I've met some really good connections and done a lot of networking that way as well. But I am on my APPEs right now and I am finishing 6 of 6. I start on Monday with my last one. And what our APPEs are is those are our advanced pharmacy practice rotations. And so you do 6 rotations and they're 6 weeks each in your last year of pharmacy school. So there's 7 blocks. So you'll have 1 block off. So you get a nice 6-week vacation. And it's great. And I loved it. I worked during my 6-week off block. I worked and I took an online class, but you do 2 electives and you can pick which electives you want to do. And then you have 4 required ones, and those are your institutional, your community, your general medicine, and then your ambulatory care. And if you're from Pennsylvania and you want to do all 6 of your rotations in Pennsylvania, we help you set that up. We have an entire office dedicated to setting up all of our IPPs and our APPs, and that's their job. They set all of them up and they schedule them. So they work with all of our students and they schedule over 1,000 different rotations a year for all of our College of Pharmacy students. And so my institutional, my gen med, and my community pharmacy ones were all in Rhode Island. My 2 electives were in France, so I did those over the fall semester, and I just got back in December. I say just got back like it's not the beginning of April and it hasn't been 4 months, but you know, I just got back. And then my last one that I'm doing right now is going to be in North Carolina with the Indian Health Service. So I start on Monday. And I'll be working in their ambulatory clinic, meeting with patients weekly and going over, you know, diabetes care, anticoagulation care, and just making sure that patients are staying up to date with their medications. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of patient interactions. I'm excited to meet a lot of new people. Bigger rotations are really that chance for you to go out and to, you know, test your knowledge that you've learned in the last 3 years and really be a pharmacist, but be a pharmacist with some supervision from an older pharmacist. So very exciting, and they are extremely like customizable. So whatever you're interested in, whatever field you're interested in, you can definitely get electives designed towards that to really help you out. So lots of fun stuff.
Great. Thank you so much, Katelyn, for sharing your study abroad experience and your rotation experience. It's so great to hear about your good experiences in at URI and the PharmD program. And so next, I want to ask a question about networking opportunities. So what networking opportunities are available for pharmacy students at URI? If anyone hasn't experienced this, if you could touch upon that, that would be great.
So I don't necessarily have too many experiences yet. Again, I'm in my first professional year now, so lots of time ahead of me, but a lot of our different professors do always offer to our students that they're very excited to like have a lot of their students help them within their field of area. A lot of our different professors do different research within the pharmacy building. And so a lot of that took to fruition, especially during COVID. A lot of different research happened with that. And a lot of our professors also have jobs within like different areas of the state. Some of them work within the veterans clinic that we have in Providence. So on multiple occasions, like some of our professors have been like, oh, like, you know, once you get to your later years, like definitely come and do a rotation with me. So that's definitely some really great networking. Again, that all of our older pharmacy students can definitely attest to a lot more than I can, but we do always have a lot of those great opportunities at URI.
So I've had a lot of networking opportunities, but I'm very involved in Rhode Island, in the state of Rhode Island. I've met a lot of pharmacists that way. I've also done a lot of panels and attended a lot of talks from pharmacists who are, you know, practicing in Rhode Island or practicing in other states. We do have the Rhode Island Pharmacists Association, and so a lot of our pharmacists that are out practicing, they are a part of that. And they love when students come and join, and they love when students participate, and they even have like a student representative position. They will invite us and they do all sorts of things, like we go out and we go bowling, and they have events to really incorporate students so that you have a chance to get out there and meet older pharmacists and do networking that way. Like I mentioned, working is also a really good opportunity to meet a lot of older pharmacists and do networking that way. But we also have a lot of volunteer opportunities throughout Rhode Island as a chance for you to get out and meet a lot of different pharmacists that way as well. I know, especially with COVID-19 vaccination clinics, it was a great opportunity for our students who volunteered and that they got to work with a lot of professors out in the field, and they got to work with a lot of other pharmacists as well. So definitely so many opportunities to do networking. So many opportunities. I don't think that I could count them all. And because a lot of our pharmacists who are practicing in Rhode Island, they went to URI. So we sit and we talk and we're like, oh my gosh, did you have this professor who taught you like, you know, oncology? And they're like, yeah, like, does she still do this? I'm like, she does, like, she still has like this crazy PowerPoint. And so you get to sit and you get to talk with them and connect about like their time in school versus your time in school. So it was really fun to meet a lot of those pharmacists.
Okay, great. So next, I just want to talk briefly about what is a fellowship in residency, and do a lot of students pursue a fellowship in residency? What types of careers can they they usually tend to go into after pursuing the fellowship and residency?
So I can talk about that as well since I'm there. So I'm actually currently doing the residency process. I'm waiting to hear back about that. But the residency process is if you're interested in doing any sort of further training. Most residencies are hospital based, but there are some managed care as well as some community pharmacy residencies out there. A lot of the hospital ones are paired with a teaching institute, a lot of times like a university hospital. Most of the community ones are paired with the College of Pharmacy and then some form of community pharmacy, mostly chain pharmacies. And then we also have a few ambulatory care. And so you have the option to do a PGY1, which is a post-grad year 1. And you do have to apply to that, and it is an application process. And it is quite an extensive process, and there's a lot that goes into it. So I would definitely recommend looking into it if there's something that you're interested in. Fellowships also have a very similar process where you do have to apply for it, you do interviews, and fellowships are mostly industry based. So if you're interested in going into pharmaceutical industries, doing any sort of like drug development, things like that, you would want to look more towards a fellowship. And URI actually had the highest match rate in New England this year. So we do really well with our matches. So it's very exciting for our residencies and our fellowships. And residencies and fellowships are not required. It's not something you have to do after graduation. You can just go straight into working as a pharmacist. But if you're looking to do more hospital pharmacy, if you're looking at doing academia, if you want to do any sort of like specialization, a residency is definitely something you should look into. So yeah, but I think as of right now, the class ahead of us, the one that graduated in 2021, I think they had a 98% rate of employment after graduation. So they had a 98% after graduation employment rate. So yeah, so most of our pharmacy students will find a job after graduation.
Yes, that's awesome, Katelyn, that you touched on all the different employment opportunities, especially with the residency that you mentioned. So that's awesome to know. And so anybody else that has any input on that?
Well, I'm about to go out on rotation, so I'm really hoping that once I go out there, I will know what I want to do for sure, but I am keeping my options open for both fellowship and residency because I really do love that patient interaction, and I love talking to them one-on-one, and I love hospital-based settings, but I also think that a lot of my skills and my leadership abilities and my knowledge lines more with the fellowship industry, so I am doing a rotation in each, and hopefully at the end of it, I will have my answer, but I do think it's so cool that we get to experience all of these things before we even have to make a decision. Like I'm able to sort of test the waters and then decide if I like it or not.
Sonika, thank you so much. And Alex and Claire, I know it's a bit early, but do you guys have any certain career paths that you are interested in right now that you may be wanting to pursue in the future?
I'm not sure yet, honestly. I really don't know, but just because of like the job that I have right now within like the IT department of the College of Pharmacy, I've gotten exposure to a lot of alumni interviews. And it's really made me see that there's like so many different pathways in pharmacy and that there's something for everyone. And even if you graduate and you're doing something and it's like not what you want to do, there's going to be like an opportunity for you. And if anyone's interested in those videos, they're just on YouTube on URI College of Pharmacy. You could look them up. You might even see Katelyn or Sonika.
Yeah, so again, as the baby here, I'm the P1. I still have plenty of time ahead of me, thank goodness. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm interested in pursuing. As I spoke about, I do work in retail setting right now, and I do really enjoy that. Not necessarily set on staying there for the entirety of my pharmacy career. So the nice thing, again, that we kind of bludgeons at this point is that we do offer a lot of those different opportunities to do like different rotations to explore everything you could potentially be interested in. So something I'm really excited for is maybe my hospital rotation after my P2 year, and just doing all the different rotations throughout my P3 year to kind of get all that experience and kind of hone in on what exactly I'm interested in pursuing. But thank goodness I have plenty of time ahead of me.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in this evening and spilling the Pharma-Tea with us. A huge thank you to Dr. Estes and Ian, who organized this event, and our panelists who shared their experiences, who are all currently in the program. And so I just hope that everybody has an awesome night, and hope you'd consider the PharmD program here at URI.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, especially our panelists and Dr. Assistant Ian, as Willy said. We're so happy we're able to have this event tonight and have our prospective and current students come and listen in and be able to listen to your experiences. And I know they probably appreciate it very much. So thank you, guys.